After collaborating on some of the most popular and distinctive films of the past 2 decades, Tim Burton and Johnny Depp are celebrating a special milestone, 20 years together in the making of film history. They are known as two of the strangest, quietest geniuses ever to work in movies. The first time they worked together was on the movie Edward Scissorhands back in 1990.
Those are your hands? I think you should just come home with me.
Burton conceived the idea for Edward Scissorhands from his childhood upbringing in suburban Burbank, California. Edward Scissorhands was then fast-tracked after Burton's success with Batman.
See, Edward, it's just, there he is, and it's a very simple graphic image, and yet when I look at him, I get very mixed feelings and very mixed emotions. You know, he's got something inside, but it's at odds with the way he looks. The split of simple, complicated, beautiful, scary, elegant, clumsy, all of those things just, you know, just seem to what makes life up, you know.
Burton's first choice for the role of Edward was Michael Jackson, but there were circumstances that made this impossible. The filming took place in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, released with positive feedback from critics and a financial success of $86 million. The next movie they worked on together was the film Ed Wood in 1994. Ed Wood gave Burton the opportunity to make a film that was more character-driven as opposed to style-driven.
A little bigger too, if you want. It's like, it's great. You get stuck, let it fall a little bit, and then bring it up. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Mr. Weiss, look no further. I'm your man. I work fast and I'm a deal. I write and direct, and I'm good.
In his role, Depp played a straight director who liked to wear women's clothes when he got
Put
nervous.
this thing back up and cut.
All right, everybody, let's get set up for scene 112.
Hey, John, and then once, okay, yeah, just stay there. Okay, good.
To get a handle on how to portray Wood, Depp watched several Reagan speeches because the actor felt the president had a kind of blind optimism that was perfect for the role.
And then Johnny, sit down like you're gonna do, and then talk like you're gonna talk, then get up and... Yeah, that's good. And if you could find a way to stay up, just like... Perfect. You know, just up here. You know now? Yeah. All right. Thank you all.
Thanks, Tom.
Good night, Mark. That's it. Stand by.
Roll sound, please.
Shut up.
65, take 2.
Action.
The third time the duo worked together was the adaptation of the classic legend of the Headless Horseman in the movie Sleepy Hollow in 1999. At the center of the story is Ichabod Crane, who attempts to solve the mystery of a town. His character was inspired by films and actors of past horror films.
And cut.
For Burton, part of the appeal of the project was the opportunity to reunite with Depp, his leading man from Edward Scissorhands and Ed Wood.
Those are your hands?
I know what it's like to live with a secret and worry about what people are going to think of you.
And Johnny, can I have a paintbrush too?
I think Tim, first and foremost, is an artist. He has an artist's approach to every facet of the film. Everything within the frame is of great importance to him. The composition of the shot, the colors, the movement. I think humor is very important to Tim. He's in fact a very funny guy. He's one of the funniest guys I've ever known, for sure. And mostly because I think he just has a great take on the world. I think he sees the absurdities in life, and I think he sees the absurdities in the world and people and flaws in people that he finds interesting or fascinating and even beautiful at times, you know.
This is the third time I've worked with him, and each time it's different. And I enjoy his wanting to always do something different. You know, it's a great thing to work with, and you know, I like actors who like to change and like to be different things and aren't concerned about,
what they're wearing or how they look and all of that. And it's just, it's very liberating.
In 2005, the duo made their fourth movie together, Corpse Bride. Tim wanted Depp to provide the voice for his main character.
Tim's approach is the approach of an artist, almost like a painter, you know, looking at a blank canvas.
It was like a little short story, only a couple of paragraphs long. It just sort of captured my attention, and, you know, I was always looking for something else to do in the stop-motion medium. It just seemed like it was right for that particular type of animation. Hey, guys, this is a big one.
If I may ask, Miss Everglow.
Tim Burton took the challenge to co-direct with Mike Johnson on Burton's second stop-motion film. From developing the characters until the actual shooting, it took the team about 3 years of development.
A tragic tale of romance, passion.
I feel the same.
And a murder most foul.
He's married to a corpse. What a cutie.
You should have seen him with fur.
I, Willy Wonka, have decided to allow 5 children to visit my factory this year.
In the same year, Burton and Depp worked on another film together. The inspirational vision for this film, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, came from Roald Dahl's drawings from the early 60s. The storyline concerns a young boy winning a tour through the most magnificent chocolate factory in the world, led by Depp as the eccentric candy maker.
I think there was a queue of actors wanting to play Wonka.
Okay, then.
So when we heard that Johnny Depp was wanting to play him, we were very excited. The Three Musketeers of Dahl, Depp and Burton. You can't beat that.
I always love working with Johnny because he's an actor that likes to try different things all the time, and that excites me. And each time I work with him, it gets better.
These are everlasting gobstoppers. You can suck on it all year, and it'll never get any smaller. Isn't that neat?
We should do a rehearsal, because I want to make sure that you come in the right time and stuff before the food. Let's do that.
It's such a great honor to have been chosen to play Willy Wonka.
Watching Johnny, you can't see the wheels going round. You keep saying to yourself, how's he doing that? And I don't know.
Bring in the chocolate.
Creating the world of Wonka became a larger project than anybody could have imagined. Although it feels like this is the most polished and CGI effects laden of Burton's films, in fact, he stuck to his guns and wanted as much of the film as possible to be filmed without computer effects, going as far as to make a real chocolate river and using real squirrels in the nut factory.
At last, my arm is complete again.
2007's Sweeney Todd is a musical directed by Burton and again starring Depp. It retells the Victorian melodramatic tale of an English barber who murders his customers with a straight razor and, with the help of his accomplice, Mrs. Lovett, processes their corpses into meat pies.
Tim is an auteur, he's a visionary, and he takes chances that most directors are fearful of. And this is a musical, which he's never done before. Either have I been, as a producer, been involved with a musical. So it's very challenging.
A Bobby, you say? Take me to him. He's nice.
As always with anything that I end up doing with Tim, the initial attraction is really Tim more than anything else. The singing, you know, was a real challenge. I mean, you know, there was a real opportunity to fall flat on your face. Still is.
All the singing parts were performed by the actors themselves after 3 months of daily voice lessons.
My relationship with Tim it's family. I somehow know how he works, how he ticks, and certainly, you know, he knows me pretty much better than anyone. We did our first movie together like 17 years ago, man. You know. See, almost don't want to even question, like, what is it? You know, I just know that it is, and that's kind of what's important.
I've worked with Johnny so many times, and I think this is definitely one of my favorite characters because, you know, we've always talked about old horror movies, and the idea of kind of being able to create something like that and seeing Johnny play like a, you know, like a monster in a way is fantastic.
Yeah. I think that more...
Burton and Depp's most recent work is the classic story of Alice in Wonderland. The film uses the technique of combining live action and 3D animation. Over 250 locations were chosen for the filming, including the historic Culver Studios for the green screen shooting.
It's you. When you see Johnny's performance, it's him. It's his eyes, it's his face, it's everything.
Action!
Take it to the White Queen.
I'm not leaving without you. When I first saw him in all his hair and makeup, he was so unrecognizable that it was just like he was just the character from the beginning.
This is impossible.
Only if you believe it is.
When he leaves the trailer, when his costume goes on, it's complete, but he is the Mad Hatter. I mean, he's gone from Johnny Depp to the Mad Hatter.
Snood, babouche, pougri, yarmulke, cocklehat, pork pie, tam o'shanter, billycock, bicon, tricon, bando, bongrace, fantail, nightcap, garibaldi, fez.
When I heard him do a scene for the first time, I loved everything that he had done with the very innocent, very hopeful, almost puppy dog-like thing that he was doing with one part of the Mad Hatter.
Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder where you're at.
Filming of the green screen portions, comprising 90% of the film, was completed after just 40 days. The Mad Hatter's clothes, skin, hair, personality, and accent changed throughout the film to reflect his emotions. Burton and Depp say they'll continue to work together. Their next project will be the gothic soap opera Dark Shadows.